Hey, how's it going, Here's 10 things that are American, that are unique to America. I lived here, I've written about this before, but it's important we get this down on video, And I lived here for about 15 years, and I'll tell you what, the longer I live here, the more different I realize Americans are from anybody else, especially Canada. And I had a lot of sort of misnomers, is that the word, about the place. Like I heard it was super racist, especially in the South. And I heard there are a bunch of evangelical nuts and the White House is run by these Christian loonies. They use the word batshit crazy a lot. I fucking hate that word. But then I come down here and I'm like at the 7-Eleven in Charleston and there's some white lady talking to an old black dude about the parking lot and there's some gay guy buying a Slurpee who's like their cousin. And I go, I thought you guys hated each other. And I realized what the media tells us about America isn't even close to true. Everyone seems to be doing all right down here, So here's 10 things that you ought to know about this land, especially if you're from the north. Number 1, they don't think soakers are a big deal. They don't even have a word for soaker. Now, where we're from, up in Canada, stepping through an ice puddle and getting that freezing cold water in your boot, it's the worst feeling in the universe. And it's so bad that when you finally get a warm sock on an hour later, oh my God, that feels like heaven. And if you're American, you don't know what I'm talking about. You know when you're in the pool and you have a wet bathing suit and then you put on underwear from the dryer on your cold buns and it just feels like heaven? That's what it feels like to end a day of a soaker. But you guys don't even talk about soakers. I don't get it. Number 2, they suck at roasting marshmallows. If you're with Americans around a campfire, it just bursts into flames. And they go, oh well, and they take the carbon off and then just have the slightly wet goo underneath. It's kind of warm. They don't know any of the art of browning or any of that stuff. And then half the time, they'll take off the marshmallow and put it with a chocolate bar and a cracker. They call it a s'more and they'll just have like a marshmallow sandwich. I don't get it, man. They're upset. And all their portions are insane. That's number 3. The portions are nuts. If you're having dinner in America, split it with someone. You'll order nachos. You can't possibly finish them. They're the size of a football, You can so you either split it with someone or you just, here, waiter, throw that in the garbage. An entire serving. I ate as much as I could. I'm going to die here. I ate half a football. Number 4. I think 2/3 of Americans don't have a passport. They haven't really been anywhere. And that doesn't bother me per se, but it's kind of annoying when they come back from somewhere. They talk about it like you haven't been there. Like say they go to Iceland and they're in the hot springs. They'll sit there and tell you, oh yeah, there's a bunch of different hot springs there and they're really big and people are swimming around floating with like steam coming off their heads. And you go, yeah, I know. I was there. My ticket cost me like $450. Who do you think you are, Christopher Columbus? This is number 5. They fucking hate French people. Oh my God, I was at a restaurant with my buddy, French dude, A French Canadian. We're down there, we're at a French restaurant, we're talking to a French waiter. Why not speak French? Why not cut out the middleman? So he's like, hey, salut, là, hey, qu'est-ce qu'on va faire pour le déjeuner or whatever. I forgot most of my French. I guess that's breakfast, right? And we got these glares. It was like we were yelling the N-word at the top of our lungs. I go, dude, keep it on the DL here. They hate the frogs. You can't, if you say croissant, they look at you like that's the worst word. That you have to say croissant. You have to pronounce it wrong, which is weird coming from Canada where we see the French as kind of lower class. I mean, they're called Pepsis because they couldn't afford Coca-Cola. I had to call it Coca-Cola there. You would have thought I meant cocaine. The other thing, here's number 6. They think English people, like people from England, are super smart. All of them. That's why if you're watching like an infomercial, the guy will be like, hey, what are you doing then? Yeah, we got this broom and it's this amazing broom. And you're like, that guy's a soccer hooligan. He might stab you. But Americans see it and they're like, oh, that guy is from Oxbridge and he took some time off being a professor to sell me this broom. I gotta buy it. I don't think they get that there's British trash. Number 7, they know every actor's name, every single one. Like you'll be watching National Lampoon's Vacation. Oh, and when you say that, they go, which one of the series? And they have them all memorized. You'll go like, what's that wife's name? And they'll go, oh, that's Beverly D'Angelo. She was a cartoonist with Hanna-Barbera, and then she started singing for Ronnie Hawkins. And you're like, how the fuck do you know that? How did you fill up so much of your brain with IMDb? Who cares who the actors are? They do that when they're done a movie too. They sit for the credits. They're like, the caterer was this guy, and this guy did the lighting. And you're sort of sitting there going, can I leave? I don't care. They were just acting. And that brings me to number 8. They love The Godfather, man. They've seen that movie like 80 times. They have all the lines memorized. They know all the cast. They'll just bust into some of the dialogue and you're like, what are you guys, Italians now? What are you talking about? And then they look at you like you're insane, like you're a pussy or something. How come you don't have that movie memorized? They'll watch it like every single Thanksgiving or something, eh? And they'll watch the same movie again and again. I don't get that. Like, they've seen Die Hard. I don't know any American that's seen Die Hard less than 5 times. And you go, wait, the dude who hasn't shot his gun since he killed a kid jumps out and shoots the guy who's going to shoot Bruce Willis, and then Bruce Willis and his wife are saved, eh? You know the ending. Yippee-ki-yay, eh? Number 9, this one drives me nuts. They say uh-huh instead of you're welcome. So someone will do you a solid and you go, you know what? I'm going to man up here and thank that dude for helping me out because that's the right thing to do. So you'll go, hey, thanks for setting up that thing. I really appreciate it. And they'll, without even looking at you, they'll go, uh-huh. And you're like, well, wait a minute. Maybe I take it back. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Uh-huh. You mean like you knew I was going to say thanks? It's like you're saying, yeah, fucking right, thank me. You better. So it makes you want to take back your apology. Say you're welcome, not uh-huh, damn straight. That's like, hey, thanks very much for helping me out. Yep, damn straight, thanks. It's infuriating. All right, here's the last one. This is my favorite one about Americans. They're all patriotic. Every single one of them, especially about their hometown, about their home state. You can have a liberal talking about how Christians ruin this country and it's hell, and then you'll go, yeah, it sucks. And they'll go, what? Where are you from? They get all pissy. Same with right-wingers who think that liberals ruin the country and it's going down the drain. You go, yeah, I agree. It stinks. They go, what's your problem? Then they get all mad. Like they will have, like women will have a little gold pendant that's the shape of their state. Wisconsin for life. They'll have a tattoo that says Wisconsin. I like that. I think that's the best thing about them. I hope they never lose that, eh? Fucking USA, eh? USA, eh? USA, eh?
Ow! We're building a studio. Help us out. Click here or visit buildthedream.ca.